Responsibility, not the pastor, not the community leader, not the commissioner, not the singer, the songwriter.
Shockwaves rippled through Fellowship Church when Pastor Charles Jenkins suddenly collapsed during his Sunday sermon. One moment he was passionately sharing his message, the next the sanctuary was filled with sudden panic. At first his voice quivered slightly and he gripped the pulpit a little tighter. Many thought it was just the emotion of the sermon, but within seconds his strength failed and he fell forward. The congregation erupted in alarm, some crying, others rushing to help, while a sense of disbelief hung in the air. Time seemed to slow as people tried to grasp what had just happened, unsure whether it was a fainting spell or something more serious. Immediate response. Members of the congregation who had medical training rushed forward to check on Pastor Jenkins, doing everything they could to support him while ushers tried to calm the rising panic. Phones were quickly raised to call 911, and many sank to their knees in prayer, pleading silently and aloud for their pastor's safety. Within minutes, paramedics arrived, carefully lifting him onto a stretcher. What moments before had been a place of joyful worship now became a scene of quiet sobs and stunned silence. People could hardly believe that their energetic, vibrant pastor was now in critical condition, being taken toward the hospital in an ambulance. Uncertainty and concern. The first hospital update was brief. Pastor Jenkins was in critical but stable condition. Beyond that, the family and congregation received no further details, which left everyone anxious and restless. Inside the hospital, doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize him, monitoring every sign of progress. Family members stayed close to his bedside, refusing to leave, while his wife quietly encouraged prayers from the church, maintaining a calm strength despite her worry. Church leaders rotated visits, supporting both Pastor Jenkins and the congregation, which was grappling with fear and uncertainty. Social media response. Meanwhile, social media lit up. Videos of the moment he collapsed spread online, accompanied by hashtags like #PrayForJenkins. Messages of love and encouragement poured in from around the country. But along with support came speculation. People wondered if this collapse was due to exhaustion, stress, or an underlying health condition. The lack of detailed information only fueled curiosity and concern, turning a personal health crisis into a public conversation. The hidden struggles of leadership. As details emerged, it became clear that Pastor Jenkins had been pushing himself relentlessly. Traveling, preaching, attending meetings, and fulfilling musical commitments without proper rest had taken a toll. Many pastors hide signs of fatigue, believing they must remain strong for their congregations, and Pastor Jenkins was no exception. His collapse highlighted a universal truth. Even the strongest leaders have limits, and the pressures of ministry can be physically and emotionally taxing. Small signs of hope. Inside the ICU, progress was slow but encouraging. Pastor Jenkins showed moments of awareness and even brief responses to family members. Every small movement brought relief to those around him, but doctors emphasized that the next 24 hours were critical. Amid this tension, the congregation clung to hope, praying continuously while waiting for updates. The gospel community rallied, with fellow pastors, gospel artists, and even celebrities sending messages of love and solidarity. A community united. Outside the church, members gathered through the night, holding candles, singing softly, and praying together. The air was heavy with both concern and devotion. Even as whispers of speculation circulated online, the overwhelming response was one of love and faith. Messages of encouragement streamed in from across the nation, reinforcing the bond between Pastor Jenkins and the community he had served for years. The conversation shifts. What began as a personal health emergency gradually became a wider conversation about the burdens leaders carry. Many reflected on the unrealistic expectations placed on pastors, particularly those leading large congregations. Social media discussions highlighted the need for rest, shared responsibility, and emotional care for leaders who often feel compelled to maintain an image of unwavering strength. The story no longer belonged only to Pastor Jenkins. it became a reflection on leadership, community, and compassion. Facing reality. Within the church, private discussions began about what the future would look like if Pastor Jenkins needed extended recovery. Succession plans, temporary leadership, and the resilience of the congregation became serious topics of conversation. The collapse served as a sobering reminder that no single person can bear the full weight of a ministry alone. Even with love and devotion, the church had to consider how it could function without its central leader, at least temporarily. Moments of connection. One particularly moving moment came when Pastor Jenkins briefly opened his eyes and whispered to his family, "Tell the church I love them." Those words resonated deeply, breaking the hearts of those present while also giving hope that his spirit remained strong. It was a reminder that connection, love, and faith can sustain both leaders and congregations, even in times of crisis. A call for balance. Doctors emphasized that full recovery would require Pastor Jenkins to take meaningful time away from the pulpit. While this was difficult news for some, it also prompted important conversations about balance and self-care within leadership roles. Elders and church leaders began to recognize that protecting the health of their pastor was not just a personal concern, it was essential for the ongoing well-being of the entire church. Lessons for the community. Outside the hospital, the wider gospel community continued to unite in prayer and encouragement. Worship events, social media posts, and public messages highlighted the shared commitment to support one another. At the same time, the story sparked a conversation about sustainable leadership, reminding congregations that faithfulness does not require self-neglect. Pastor Jenkins' experience became a catalyst for reflection on how communities can better support their leaders while nurturing collective resilience. Reflection and hope. Ultimately, the sudden collapse of Pastor Jenkins was a turning point for both the man and the ministry he had built. It revealed the hidden struggles that leaders often face silently, the strength of a united congregation, and the necessity of compassion, both for leaders and for each other. While his road to recovery remained uncertain, the outpouring of love, prayer, and solidarity demonstrated the powerful bonds that form when people come together in crisis. A lasting impact. The story of Pastor Jenkins' collapse will be remembered not only as a moment of fear and uncertainty, but as a symbol of human vulnerability and the importance of shared responsibility. It inspired reflection on the weight of leadership, the need for rest and care, and the power of a community to rally in support of one another. In the end, what could have been only a personal crisis became a collective lesson on faith, balance, and compassion. Moving forward. As Pastor Jenkins continues to recover, the congregation and the wider gospel community carry forward the lessons learned from that day. Discussions about healthy leadership, shared responsibilities, and community support remain active, ensuring that the weight of ministry is never carried alone. Pastor Jenkins' journey reminds everyone that faith is not just about enduring alone. It is about walking together, supporting one another, and creating a culture where love, care, and responsibility coexist. Legacy of strength and love. The unexpected collapse ultimately reinforced the connection between Pastor Jenkins and his congregation. It revealed the hidden human struggles behind a powerful public figure while also highlighting the depth of communal love and devotion. The story reminds us that even in moments of vulnerability, courage, faith, and compassion can shine the brightest, leaving a legacy that reaches far beyond